The fourth race in the 2007 ABSA Off-Road Championship is the killer event of the whole circuit. It's the rough, tough and ready Toyota Kalahari Botswana 1000 Desert Race in the middle of June. And as always, this race with its magnificent history and rich racing heritage will be the decider of the season. The race was started in 1975 and will this year be run from the 15th of June to the 17th. In the early days, this very demanding event was known as the Total Trans-Kalahari Road Race and quickly carved a niche for itself on the South African motorsport calendar. Championship leader and two-time winner already this season, Hannes Grobler navigator Francois Jordan will be eyeing this one with a glint in the eye. After all, Grobler, current Motorsport SA Off-Road Car Racing Commission President, Piet Swanepoel won here in 1986 in a Nissan Safari. Grobler and Richard Leek won in Nissan Hardbody in 02, 03 and 04, with Grobler and Jordan back as the defending champions this year. But don't throw away their Nissan teammates, Superfit Duncan Foss and Ralph Pitchford, who won last time out at Sun City. With that win, they closed to within 13 points of Grobler and Jordan in the overall championship. The hosts Toyota would dearly love to clinch a 13th title in the longest race on the South African calendar, around 1,000 grueling Ks, and their hopes will squarely be on the shoulders of Marc Ronier and the experienced Chris Birkin. But Nissan have a three-card trick up their sleeve in the overall championship. Marc Ronier, Chris Birkin and the Castrol Toyota Hilux lead Norwegian driver Ivar Tollefsen and British co-driver Quinn Evans in another factory Nissan Navara. But in the SP class, points anomalies in the off-road scoring system has Brandon Harkis and John Moore in the big Ford Racing Ranger, who lead Tollefsen and Evans by 1 point, with Ronier and Birkin a further 3 back. While Manfred Schroeder and Ward Huxtable and their Barlow World Absolute Ford Ranger are lying 6th with 25 points, 40 behind Grobler. But they are a very consistent combination and are always a factor over the longer distances. Although Neil Woolridge and Kenny Scholthammer only recorded their first finish of the season in the Pilanesberg, Woolridge has won the Toyota 1000 Desert Race 3 times in 3 different makes of vehicle. In 96, he and Paul Vermaak won in a Nissan Sani, and then they followed 2 wins with Scholthammer, first in a Mitsubishi Pajero in 2000 and then a Ford Ranger in 01. Nissan certainly have a lot of backup though, with Mark Corbett and Rudy Balzar and the Century Property Development Navara also right in there with a shot at it. Corbett slots in at 8th place on the SP points log, but he's been inching closer to better consistency and is also a man for the long haul. This is Chris Visser, who scored points in SP, but racing his Clad D truck, he will be out in the new SP in Botswana. And he'll certainly be a marked man. Another crew has gotten stronger and better organized as the season has progressed is the Mike Karen XL team of Hugo and Jaap de Bruin, who logged their first points of the year 2007 at Sun City a few scant weeks ago. The top of the leaderboard in Class D is something of a family affair, with Yuri and Andre Duplessis leading Arnold Duplessis and Johan Knox by a single point. Both teams are out in BB Auto Nissan hardbody entries. Just to make it more interesting, Kutsiela Beskachny, after a heroic performance in the Raysonics Nissan hardbody at Sun City, shares 2nd place. Kutsia was forced to go it alone in the Pilanesberg event after co-driver Johan Gerber was forced to return home when his house burned down on the eve of the event. With Gerber not scoring any points, Tiaan Koen moves into 3rd in the co-drivers championship. Koen's father Harold is 4th on the drivers list with a pair out in a Land Rover. The Weichholtz, Cliff and Louis in their Toyota have not had a season to write home about yet and will want to turn that around in the Kalahari Desert and Botswana's inhospitable bush. Co-driver Mark Sarua finds himself in 4th place on the navigator's log, while his pilot Gavin Gray is also ready to take things to the next level. The Class E title chase has turned into a 4-way battle, and the Toyota Desert 1000 may just be where things are settled here too. The Ford Racing Ranger crew of Jack Beckham and Lucio Santoro lead Yanni Visser and Joks Leroux in the Team Barberspun Toyota Hilux by a single point. Castrol Toyota Hilux crew Brian Martin and Oki Fourie are only a point behind Visser and Leroux, while George and Sharon Barkhuizen in their white Rubicon Toyota Hilux is only a further 3 points in arrears. This is certainly a scrap to be treasured, and look out for Jack Beckham and Lucio Santoro in that big Ford of theirs. Next best are Kobus van Tonder and Rian Guapa in the Time Freight Mitsubishi Pajero. They 23 points behind the Barkhuizens, but they move to the SP class from now on. And relative newcomers Roost Racing's Dion Venter and Ian Palmer in their Toyota Hilux will be trying to do exactly the same thing, move up the order. Wearing E2, the Bosel Toyota of Mark Moffat and Stuart Moffat will also want to impress after a quiet start to the season. Thomas Rundle in the Bowden Tyres entry has also shown some solid improvement this year already, and with some slightly better luck, he would have been much further up the points log. But that's off-road racing. Whatever the case may be, it's Grobler and Jordan who have stamped down their authority, and even though Foss and Pitchford have closed the gap, their defending national champion teammates will be the ones to beat in Botswana. 3 different special vehicle category winners in as many races and new championship leaders. That's a product of the recent Sun City 400 in round 3. Off-road racing legend Alfie Cox and Henny ter Steege and the Motorrad Bat scored their first win of the season to give the new Spec 3 Bat a win first time out. It was also a win that took Cox and ter Steege, the reigning SA champions, to the top of the overall and Class A championship log. In the overall championship, they now lead the father and son team of Nick and Ryan Harper in the Atlas Copco Bat by 4 points. A non-finish at the Sun City 400 hurt the Harpers, and they'll be looking to bounce back in the Toyota 1000 Desert Race, an event they won last year. The Harpers won round 2 of the championship, the Nissan Guthrie 400 in KwaZulu-Natal, and have a 3-point advantage over Evan Hutchison and Achim Bergman in the second Motorrad Bat. Hutchison and Bergman won the opening event of the season, the Nissan Dealer 400 in the Western Cape. The top 5 in the overall championship are completed by former SA champion Shamir Variawa and Siegfried Rousseau in their Big Total Porter, and Nahim Mosaji and Rayan Bodhana in the Total Motorsport Jimco. They scored their best national result to date when they finished 5th at Sun City. Nandis Alberts and Colin Hunter and their Rapsa Bat are 6th, but did not finish at Sun City, hurt their title aspirations badly. The off-road scoring system with different point structures for overall and class results sees a slight change in the Class A standings. The first 3 remain the same, while Mosaji and Bodhanya move ahead of Variawa and Rousseau. Herman Silwalt and his co-driver Morley Miller have already given a good account of themselves and had a great finish at Sun City. Meanwhile, former SA champion Terence Marsh, also in the brand new Regent Racing Bat, will be wanting to impress the new sponsors. Gary Gillingham and Peter van Vuren in the Kopenhagen Hotel Bat have been there or thereabouts all season and could supply a surprise or 2. In the second region entry, the Cries, Jan and Hendrik, have impressed no end by winning the first 3 races. They will be tough to beat as they seem to have found a recipe for success. The Adenko Bat with Johan and Etienne Besaidnout on board will also be a team to watch out for. They're right up there and have just needed a little more luck. The JRE CLE of Marcus Taylor and Derek Keith have already had their fair share of mentions here on Supersport, and there's no reason to believe that they will not be enjoying the same again this time round. The second Adenko Bat with Bez Besaidnout and Johan de Bruin have designs on a top 3 finish and could very well upset a few apple carts. And in Lau de Bruin and Rudy Brits, Rubicon have some serious backup to help their other entrants along the way. Consistency is again paying off for veteran former champion Gil Nel, now partnered by Sandra Lebeskaghni in the Luke ATE Zarko Truggy. The East Rand driver is 3rd in the Class B stakes, and like the other competitors will be hoping the law of averages catches up with the Cry family in Botswana. In Class S, only 2 crews have managed to score points so far this season. 2 wins and a second have given former SA champ Richard Schilling and Chris Davies in the Plastotech Aceco the advantage over Nick Gosler and Richard Carolyn in the Kopenhagen Hotel Super Team Raceco. But Glenn Gibson and Mike Whitehurst will be hoping to get some points in the championship run and get on the podium in class. But the gloves are off as we approach the halfway mark of the 07 campaign. Cox and ter Steege only have a 4-point lead from the Harpers, while their stablemates Hutchison and Bergman are in turn only 7 down. Expect a big battle over 1,000 Ks on a route that has undergone major alterations.
Vehicle and asset finance from ABSA, going the extra mile to get